Have you ever wondered how women in corsets, heavy skirts, and buttoned up dresses managed to stay healthy, beautiful, and even fit during the Victorian era? It may surprise you, but 19th century women in Britain and North America had their own unique ways of caring for their bodies, often a mix of smart habits, strange beliefs, and sometimes downright dangerous beauty tips. So, let's time travel and explore how Victorian women kept themselves in shape, all while balancing society's expectations of modesty, femininity, and grace. Forget the gym. For Victorian women, everyday life was the workout. They began their mornings not with a bath, but with a quick splash of cold water at a wash basin. Full baths were rare, maybe once a week, and believed by some to be harmful, especially for women. Hot baths, they said, could be debilitating or even madness inducing. So instead, women kept clean with a careful daily routine, wiping down the face, hands, and private parts while saving the full soak for special occasions. And housework. That was real exercise. Women lifted coal, carried water, scrubbed floors, beat rugs, and hauled laundry, often in corsets and skirts. Without realizing it, they were getting an all-day, full-body workout. And for those who had a bit more leisure, there was calisthenics. Imagine soft marches in place, arm circles, and graceful leg lifts, all done indoors in long dresses. Health experts like Catherine Beecher in America and reformers in Britain promoted these gentle movements to keep blood flowing and posture strong. It wasn't about sweat or muscles, it was about grace, symmetry, and poise. Even Castle's Household Guide in the 1880s reminded readers helplessness and inactivity are no longer looked upon as feminine virtues. Victorian women might not have counted calories, but they knew how to fuel their bodies and often how to not overdo it. For most families, meals were simple and seasonal. Breakfast could be stone ground bread with a dollop of lard or dripping, maybe paired with a bunch of fresh watercress. Dinners featured hearty stews, oily fish like herring or cod, and root vegetables like cabbage and turnips. Sugar was a luxury, not a daily staple, and processed foods were rare. But the real charm of the Victorian diet was its natural simplicity. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, and home-cooked fare kept women nourished, often more healthfully than we eat today. And when health flattered, they reached for tonics, teas, and cures with names as fancy as their promises, from Beecham's pills to Heyman's balsam. Women turned to patent medicines for everything from digestion to female ailments. Lemon water was sipped morning and night to flush the organs, and if you were really feeling down, a steaming bowl of beef tea, yes, hot, seasoned meat broth, was served to restore your strength. Exercise didn't always mean jumping jacks. Victorian women embraced walking briskly and often as one of the most elegant and effective ways to stay healthy. Doctors praised fresh air as the greatest medicine, so women strolled through gardens, down misty streets, and along country lanes, even under umbrellas, parasols, or light rain. One etiquette guide even encouraged women to walk with the face to the rain to refresh the skin, and for the wealthy, cycling in the late 1800s became both fashionable and rebellious. Though critics warned it might cause bicycle face, a supposedly permanent strained expression, women kept pedaling toward freedom and fitness. Now let's talk fashion. Staying healthy in the Victorian era wasn't just about movement, it was about managing the weight of what you wore, literally. Every day, women layered themselves in chemises, petticoats, drawers, corsets, crinolines, bustles, and boned bodices. The corset was central, worn to shape the waist and enforce upright posture, even if it squeezed lungs and organs in the process. Some doctors warned about tight lacing. Reformers begged for looser clothing. But for most women, the corset stayed, at least until rational dress movements in the late century began pushing back. Yet, despite the pressure, quite literally, women still found ways to move, breathe, and even shine. Victorian women had no serums or spa treatments, but they had rituals, remedies, and a passion for looking their best. Hair was brushed for up to 100 strokes a night to keep it shiny. Skin was softened with sugar scrubs, strawberry masks, or oatmeal rinses. Lemon juice brightened the complexion, and vinegar or cologne was used as a natural deodorant. And yet, some beauty secrets were shockingly risky. Women applied lead-based powder to whiten their skin. They used belladonna eye drops to dilate their pupils and achieve a dreamy, wide-eyed look. And some even applied opium or mercury in their overnight masks. Pale skin was prized, tanned skin meant labor, and so women hid under hats and parasols, preserving a delicate, untouched glow. Victorian health advice was a paradox. Women were told to get fresh air, but not to sweat, to move daily, but not too violently, to bath, but not too often or too hot. Health books promoted moderation in all things, and while the 19th century brought advances in medicine and science, many women still followed folk cures passed down through generations. Mustard foot baths for colds, saltwater gargles, and flannel soaked in brandy for chest infections. Some even believed beauty was a moral duty, that cleanliness brought one closer to the angels, while sloppiness led to spiritual decay. So, how did Victorian women stay in shape? They walked, they worked, they nourished themselves with fresh food. They practiced calm, graceful movements, and yes, they wore corsets and took some wild risks with arsenic creams and beef tea. But at the heart of it all was a belief in balance between nature and discipline, beauty and health, stillness and motion. And maybe, just maybe, they knew a thing or two we've forgotten about the power of daily ritual, the magic of morning walks, and the quiet strength of women who carried themselves with dignity even under layers of lace and whalebone.